Kenton Stacy married his high school sweetheart, Lindsay, and after struggling to find a full-time position with the fire department, Kenton looked into joining the military.
You know, you had to look in the newspaper back then. It was just like a 1-800 number. It said nothing about the Navy, but yeah, he said he was going to do 4 years, but he obviously fell in love with EOD.
Kenton was training to become an EOD when Lindsay learned that she was pregnant with triplets, but sadly, complications arose.
They were all born alive and 2 of them passed away. And Logan had a 6.5-month NICU stay.
Kenton halted his EOD career to work in a Navy recruiting station so he and Lindsay could mourn their loss together and care for their son Logan. About a year later, Kenton deployed to Iraq. Kenton would deploy 3 times over the next 10 years, and the Stacy family continued to grow. In 2017, Kenton prepared for his 4th deployment, this time to Syria. With just 3 weeks left in his deployment, the unthinkable happened.
So they were working with the local forces and they weren't clearing the rooms right. And I think this was like the 3rd attempt. And when they were doing a brief, there was a local security guard and he actually broke off from the brief and he was going into the room and Kenton was going in to tell him to stop. Like, don't go in there, and that's when the IED went off.
3 days later, Kenton arrived at Brooke Army Medical Center. He was paralyzed from the neck down. His vocal cords were severely damaged and he was blind in his left eye.
I mean, he was in a hospital about 1.5 years before he even came home. Almost 2 years from the time he actually left, for deployment.
With gratitude for his life and the support of family, Kenton and his family found a new normal. But housing was a persistent struggle.
We're currently getting ready to move from base housing. It's small. He would ding up the walls when he would go into his room. The bathroom was small, so he wasn't able to use that at all.
Kenton's recovery care coordinator suggested he and Lindsay apply for a specially adapted smart home through the Gary Sinise Foundation's R.I.S.E program. And I was honored to call Lindsay to tell her the news. They'd been approved.
We were at Disneyland. Kenton was still inpatient at the time at the hospital, and I took the kids, and to get the best news of your life at one of the places that makes you the happiest, yeah, it's a great memory to always have.
With the support of independent community donations and our national partners, the Gary Sinise Foundation began construction on the Stacy's home near San Diego, California. In May of 2021, the home was completed and the Stacy family moved in.
This is just amazing. For me, it's just unreal. It's finally here. He hasn't been able to go in the kids' room and tell them goodnight. They always have to come down and tell him goodnight and then go upstairs and go to bed. So for Kenton to get in his wheelchair, into bed, out of bed, he requires a Hoyer lift, which will give the nurses the ability to get him up out of bed. Having it actually on the ceiling is just gonna be so much quicker for Kenton. It's easier. Yeah, be able to go inside and outside. And definitely just the wide doorways. I know he's really looking forward to that. I mean, I know the house it's for our whole family and it serves him, but it also is going to really help with our oldest son who has cerebral palsy. Just having the open concept, it's going to be really good for him too. This is our last stop. This is our forever home, and we don't have to put them through any more transitions. Yeah, we feel very, very loved and supported forever grateful.
The Stacy family looks forward to settling into their new neighborhood and enjoying some peace and quiet as they watch their kids grow. At the Gary Sinise Foundation, we serve our nation by honoring our defenders, first responders, their families, and those in need. To learn more about the Gary Sinise Foundation and how you can support other veterans like Kenton Stacy, visit GarySiniseFoundation.org. Thank you.